Press subscribe.
Press subscribe.
Press the bell.
Press the bell.
Press like.
Press like.
Change your life one word at a time.
Good evening, good evening. Yes, good morning, good evening to you, to I, to them, everybody. So we have our CMOS, we have everything we need. Make sure you're keeping healthy in this season. We got lots to talk about. Hope you guys are keeping healthy. And you know, I'm not just about investing, not just a maths teacher, taekwondo teacher, or investor in the stock market or the crypto market. Also about investing in yourself. So, what is our day gonna be like? What's our day gonna be like, Teja?
I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm wise, I'm powerful. It's gonna be a good day. Thank you, Jesus. I'm black, I'm proud.
Amen. So we got lots to talk about. Can you believe Bitcoin is making all new time highs? 14 February, practically 50,000. If we round up, we can see here 49,541 new highs daily. I remember the previous high was 20,000. Now today I'm going to show why many people make their predictions on when this bull cycle could end and things like that. Because remember, we said charts are your friend. Charts are good for your heart, trends are your friends, and people look back in history, price history, and we see what Bitcoin's done in the past, and then they can predict what it's going to do now. Because if we look here, can you see the 2014 bull run when it reached the peak? How it started coming down is similar to 2018 when it reached its peak, how it started coming down. I believe 2014, it went from like $100. Let's look at the price history actually. So we got here in 2013, it went from like $13 to $220. So that's like a 15x, 1,500%, a 15x. So let's bear that in mind. Then in the next bubble, they call it, or the next bull run, it went from $1,000. So we can see here, it went from $1,000 all the way to $20,000. And that's what, a 20x. So these are the predictions. Previous bull run, 20x. The one before that, 15x. Now, and that's 15x from its old time high. So remember that. So old time high was 20,000. So imagine if we are talking about, let's look at my calculator. So 20,000 times, we'll just say a 10x even. A 10x is 200,000. And if we're humble and just say a 5x, that's 100,000. So remember, Bitcoin right now is at 50,000. So when we think of these prices look ridiculous, it doesn't sound ridiculous when you look at the previous history that it does 20x from its previous all-time high. And so people just being humble because this time is different to before. That's why people that was in the other ones, because we can see, this is why you have to be careful, people that was in the other ones, people buying high here and it crashing and crashing and crashing. They're crying. One of my YouTuber friends, they call it, or my not my friend, my people I listen to, he calls it PSD for crypto, because people that bought here, that's why they are more cautious this time. They're trying to think of profit strategies on the way up. So when they start feeling it's round here, looking at different metrics and different graphs, they start taking profit. And then while it's going down, they'll start taking profit as well. They don't want to ride the profit all the way down here. Like so many people got wrecked that bought up here, FOMO'd in, fear of missing out, and then just watched it go down thinking the run would last forever. But so this is why people are being cautious. And where they get this cautiousness from is looking at from the peak for it to halve was like 2-3 months, or for it to get to real all-time lows was like 6 months and things like that. So no, from the got to double, it took like 6 months before it got to its peak. So that's where they see this could end in 6 months from when we doubled. So people looking at July, August, and follows history. Because what I did see, if we look at this chart here, so remember we're saying if we look at the previous bull run, where's my clicker? Yeah, here we go. So in 2017, remember it went from $1,000 in that previous bull run. So if we say, look here, so we can see from the 2nd of April, for it to double, it took, there we go, it took, say, 3 months for it to double. Can I go before that? Before that, yeah, about 3 months for it to double. And then after it doubled, so it's at 2000, let's see how long it took for it to double again. So we're here. So what's that? 8th, 20th of the 8th. So 20th of the 8th, so August. And we were at 2000 so about 3 months it took to double from the second time it doubled. And if we look here at our Bitcoin chart, where's Bitcoin? I think I got it on, I'm going to use this one. I think it's this one, yeah. So we can see when we were at 20,000, which was the previous all-time high, we were here in December. So around December, I believe. And then for it to get to 40,000, I want the dates. Let me go down a bit. There we go. So in December, we can see we were at 20,000 roughly, 16th December. And for it to double from 20th December to 40,000 was round here. That was what? Only less than a month. But from that double, if it follows the previous chart, by 3 months, it could double again. And this is 8th of January. Say 3 months is March. So if it follows the other one already, by March, we could be 100K. And some other maths I did as well, we're looking at, and for us to be at 100K, I think I posted it in one of my Telegram groups. Let's see if I can find it, because even some maths is funny. For it to be 100K, it doesn't have to do that much hard percentages to get there, because this is the compound interest. Getting 2%, it goes somewhere. Then you're getting 2% on that 2%. And this is how things compound. This is compound interest. That's why things can happen really fast. What group did I post it in? So yeah, we could have 100K by March if it follows some of these things. And it's already practically at 50K. This is all in dollars. But even some maths I found interesting. I think I put it here. Yeah. So 100K is possible in like 2-3 weeks too. But you want to not be thinking about the end of the year, I told them, but more July and August to think about your take profit strategy. As when it gets to its peak. Oh no, that was someone I was sending that actually. I think I put the percentages to a message to my friend on WhatsApp. Let me look. So what's their name? Yeah. So I said here, some knowledge I worked out in that just 8 days of it doing 10%. So where Bitcoin is at 50,000, say it does 10%. You just need 8 days of them 10% jumps to get to 100,000. And just thinking 8 days of getting 10% with what Bitcoin is doing, and people like logarithmic graphs because it shows percentage. Like I can click this here, it shows the percentage, but it goes from where I've got it. I think I've got on a 5-day chart. So that's why some people pay for packages where I can get better graphs where I want the logarithmic part to go from. Because I see some of my bloggers, I can highlight the section, it shows me the percentage there, and that's how people do proper technical analysis, new different types of software. But yeah, so imagine it's at 50,000, 10% of that is what, 5,000, and then that'll be 55,000, and another 10% of 55,000 is 5,500. Add that on, and we just need 8 days of that happening. But bear in mind, it can drop, but as long as when it gets back to that previous 10% it got to, we need another 10%, and just 8 days of that, and we are at, what do we call it? We've doubled already. And then if from where we are now, it would only take 5x to 10x to, so where we are now to get to even 200,000, we would only need 15 days of those 10% gains. And to get to 500,000, 500,000, we would only 24 days of those 10%. So when you think of it as 10% increments, it doesn't sound that hard, but it's promising. So using the last data, like we said, we can see that possibly it can double again from its 40,000 to get to like 80,000 in like by March, isn't it? Yeah. So, but there's so much things happening. So even gold I was looking at. So that means we're close to 50,000, and one gold bullion, 1 ounce of gold costs like 58,000. So the price of one Bitcoin is close to the price of 1 bullion of gold, 1 ounce of gold. Can we see? So literally when people are saying Bitcoin is the new gold, they're not lying. This is about to touch the price of gold. And that's actually some of the history of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin changed from being something that people wanted to be currency for it to be a store of value. So this is why many more people started joining Bitcoin. And another thing of why this bull run's different is because now you've got lots of industry people coming in, buying it compared to the last one. And in the last one, you had loads of hackers. There was one story I read of one hacker where his family bought him, his mother or someone, his grandmother gave him like, say £100, 100,000, and he put £100 of that in Bitcoin. In that time, that was like 10 Bitcoins. And then he was avowed in the last 2017 bull run. But when he was posting and stuff, people started hacking him, telling him where his parents live, this and that and stuff like that. And they wanted his Bitcoin basically. So, but that's why he's saying this cycle now is different to that cycle, because that cycle was bigger than news, so many hackers, different countries, no one knew what to do with all these stuff. But now you don't hear about it that much, because now you're hearing Trump gets more tweeted than, or Trump gets more news than Bitcoin, and pandemics more not news than Bitcoin and things like that. Whereas the last one, it was very much, you could tell you in the bull run. This one, it's not as much, although we're getting more and more retail people in, because we got JayZ. What was the other big news I saw? JayZ and the CEO, JayZ and CEO of Twitter, make a trust. JayZ and Twitter CEO make a trust. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey and rapper Jay are setting up a Bitcoin trust in India and Africa. Dorsey took to Twitter to announce that he and Jay are going 500 BTC, approximately 23.7 million, to a new endowment to fund Bitcoin development focused on teams in Africa and India. So retail here, remember they're tweeting, so all their followers will be thinking, oh my gosh, they're doing Bitcoin, I need to get in Bitcoin. Who else did we have as well? We even had, I believe I was talking about Lindsey Lohan tweeting about Bitcoin, We even had, I heard KRS, Lindsey Lohan saying Bitcoin to the moon. Who else did we have? KRS tweeting about Bitcoin, KRS. Don't think that's how I spell. Tweeting. Bitcoin, let's see, KRS, crypto trader. The KRS is talking about the official hip-hop one. And then who else did I hear? Even Meek Mill. I think he's always showing his profile. Meek Mill and Bitcoin. Yo, what? I'm an artist from the East Coast trying to spread my music. Meek Mill on Twitter, they about to make money digital. Let's see. Yeah, so we got loads of people in it. This is why my blogger person I listened to, he's saying before everyone was in it, yes, he was more excited about it, but now many people in it, he's less excited and he's more cautious, because he was part of the other one where it crashed and he lost a lot of money. So he's more cautious now to be thinking about taking profit and things like that. But we have some other interesting projects that I heard about because of all these things. What's great about crypto, which actually is another point, the original point of the stock market was about providing liquidity. So companies could be there, so you could buy shares and provide them liquidity with money so they could grow and things like that. But some articles are saying now we've turned the stock market into a casino where people are doing these shorts and all these other stuff. So this is the problem. So this is why blockchain and the Ethereum and Bitcoin and all that is all interesting, because it gives people a chance to turn it back to what the foundation of stock market and exchanges were for providing liquidity, providing money so people can grow their ideas and businesses. So this is why we've got great things like Polkastarter here. Is this my Polkastarter one? Yeah, Polkastarter, I've decentralized the way your ideas raise capital. So by putting money in these pools, we can see they got all these ones where these companies trying to raise money. And I'm going to talk about Polkamarket in a second. I just tried to get involved in that because this is you being able to fund the company at its ground stage. They give you some tokens, like they'll give you shares from an initial stage before it even gets on a listing. This is the exciting part, because traditionally when it gets to listing, it's going to shoot up more in price, isn't it? Because it's open to more buyers. At this stage, it's exclusive. Only those that are doing the task or doing whatever the company requires to join their community get to have those pre-sale prices or join them quick at the early stages. So this is Polkastarter. And Polkastarter is part of Polkadot, which reminds me what I was talking about the revolution before. When you had the Bitcoin revolution, say in 2013, all that time, anything, or even 2017, everyone was starting making new Bitcoin. The government came in and trying to make their own cryptocurrency, and other people, anything you called it, Bit this, Bit Cash, Bit that, anything with Bit in the title was booming. That was the revolution. Anything linked to Bitcoin would boom. Then you had Ethereum revolution. So Ethereum launched that you're able to have the ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. So that's the point, Ethereum being an ecosystem, and any little thing that runs their token runs it on it being an ERC token, a part of Ethereum, and you can have that. So anything linked to Ethereum was pumping. Now you got DeFi revolution. Anything that's able to make people get money, capital, raise money, or get interest, all these things now is that revolution. But within that, if we remember that problem Ethereum people don't like is how high the fees are. So for you to have these tokens on Ethereum and change between them, there's fees attached to that. So the next revolution is something that can have an alternative to Ethereum. Like I'm here, Cardano, eventually there'll be no fees if you have a certain amount, I believe. But the Cardano and Polkadot are that alternative that makes the fees less, the gas fees less. So Polkadot is another ecosystem, but on Polkadot you have this Polkastarter, which is about raising capital. And what's great about Polkadot, they vet their companies. So all the projects that's launched on Polkadot have done very well, because they have a very exclusive way of even allowing you to be on Polkadot, and they have a very limited amount of things that can even be on there as well. So this is why Polkastarter is great. But then what brings me on to, from Polkastarter, you have something called Polkamarket, like you can see here. Because Polkamarket is another utility that are launching on Polkastarter because they need funding. But in order to join them, so even today was the day of their whitelist. So whitelist is where they give you a set of instructions that you need to complete to be able to let you be part of the IDO. And IDO is the initial DEX offering. Remember, with stock market, you have a IPO, so initial public offering, when the stock joins the public exchange. IDO is when it joins a DEX, like Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. And Uniswap is one of the biggest exchanges because it's global to everyone, whereas the stock market, you have only US tickers and stuff like that. And you're able to do it in UK and other stuff, but it's not global. It's not every country in the world is allowed to be on the stock market and trade the NASDAQ and S&P and all of those kind of companies. Whereas Uniswap, you're able to have everyone. But even with Uniswap, so this is where Polkadot comes in, I believe, and Polkastarter, I believe, because Polkastarter is trying to be a cross-chain project. Because with Uniswap is part of the Ethereum pool, so you can only have ERC tokens on Ethereum. You can't put your Bitcoin and easily trade it with Ethereum directly. You need something to transfer one to another. So this is the point. And that's why Bitcoin actually made a wrapped Bitcoin that can be on Uniswap and is part of the Ethereum network, because they wanted to get involved in all the things going on with Ethereum. So even Bitcoin, the number one starter of all this decentralized finance, had to get a wrapped version where you basically can swap what your value of Bitcoin is for the wrapped Bitcoin, which can then be on the Ethereum protocol and the system. But cross-chain now, Polkadot, where they come different, is they're trying to make you be able to be part of the Ethereum system, but also part of the Polkadot system. And this is where Polkastarter has a really good link, because it's all about cross-chain products of being able to talk to each other, different systems being able to talk to each other. We can see here, they said a nice way to explain cross-chain is here. Considered example, every country has their own legal tender. USD cannot be used in China, and RMB cannot be used in the US. The legal tender of different countries cannot be transferred easily since their currency systems are independent of each other. Much like the blockchain ecosystem today, BTC cannot be transferred to ETH Ethereum directly, since they are from different blockchain systems. But with cross-chain technology, different tokens and data from various blockchains can be transferred easily. So this is the point of Polkadot and Polkastarter and all these things, that you can do things easily. And that's why Uniswap is the biggest exchange, but it only allows URC tokens, whereas Polkadot, Cardano, the plan is for it to be cross-chain. So that's why they will be able to get a big market cap. What else did I want to show you guys? Yeah, so we looked at Bitcoin. Oh yeah, so Polkamarket. So today, why Polkamarket is interesting, like I said, you want to be able to join projects from the early stages. Now, of course, these projects can fail, but looking at the history of everything that's joined Polkadot or Polkastarter, because we saw here on Polkastarter, all of these are the older ones and they're all being filled. Umbrella, ThinkFlow, Bridge Mutual, Butterfly, so many projects. But if we look at the history of these projects, from they launched to what they're doing now, a paid network many people talk about, because I like paid, how it sounds, to do with lawyers and being able to, if there's a court case and stuff, they'll be able to sort it out for you between yourselves because you put your money in, and it sounds interesting. So remember, all these projects are doing well. So now we've got another 4 that are opening soon, but the one I'm looking at was Polkamarkets. Now, Polkamarkets today, the task, they basically, on the whitelist, they basically said I have to join the Polkamarket Twitter, then I had to join the Polkastarter Twitter, then you had to make sure you're on the Telegram of Polkamarkets, and Telegram is dangerous because this is open groups, so sometimes you can be easily scammed. If you're new to crypto, be careful on Telegram. So even though the public communication for these new crypto companies are on Telegram, but when you're in there, they will tell you, an official one, that they will never directly message you. So if you get directly messaged by anyone, you can know it's not from the real people. They would not do it. But people are pretending, because you can do bots and you can pretend to take the picture and call yourself admin, and then they'll direct message you and tell you to do this and that. And if you're not got sense, then you might send your money or your crypto using your wallet address to people, or give them their access to your public address, and they'll be able to hack you and stuff. So again, Telegram, remember, this is all new space, it's all decentralized is the point, but that comes with danger. So when you're on the Telegram of the official groups, you need to make sure you don't get sucked into any direct messages from anyone. You only talk to the people on the official group. And then on there, because even they said today they were going to launch at 5 o'clock UTC time, they're going to launch the instructions on how to do whitelist. By 5 o'clock came, someone even on that group posted something. I clicked on it and it was telling me, oh, what's my wallet address? Where will it send my polls to? And if you were fooled, you might have done it quickly and lost loads of money. Luckily, they saw what was going on, quickly stopped they muted the channel so no one could post, while the official people only then have permission to post the real whitelist instructions, which were just on Twitter, different Twitter accounts. Make sure you're on the Telegram accounts. And then the one question they ask, which some beginners don't know, is what is Polkamarkets? What is it? So, and Polkamarkets, let's have a look. So it's like a GameFi prediction market, but they're much more as well about events. So Polkamarket is a DeFi-powered prediction market built for cross-chain information exchange and trading, where users take positions on outcomes of real-world events in a decentralized and interoperable platform on Polkadot. And other things that I liked about them, technically, is about betting. You make something, saying something's going to happen, people can have can get in that. But that weren't my main focus, that part. It was more about the entertainment part as well. So more than just a prediction market, Polkamarkets will have important entertainment features. These include NFTs. Remember, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. Like money is fungible. One £10 and is the same value as the other £10, where non-fungible means you only have one of that thing. It's rare and things like that. You can't transfer between the things so easily. So that's where NFTs, we're talking about with Bondly, which we'll get to. They're launching big things on NFTs and their partnerships. So once you have this NFT, you have access to limited data, limited opportunities that people don't have, and things like that. That's why NFTs can soon become assets and linked to different types of assets and linked to different type of, currencies and things. So that's what NFT is promising. So here they're trying to be part of it. So more than just a prediction market, Polkamarkets will have the important entertainment features. These include NFT-based gamification, live streaming integration for in-play positions on esports and sports, and daily crypto price markets. Live chats and virtual events in online communities will also form a key entertainment value add to our platform. So it's just a new kind of thing. That's why I found it interesting. And of course, they got the great marketing of being part of the Polkadot system, part of Polkastarter system. And you can see here, you can see how they're planning to launch and when they're going to come on the exchange and things like that. So it's just, if I can join early, because I've done my thing, but I think I don't know how they do it, whether it's going to be the first ones that emailed correctly or whether it's the random pool, and then we'll see. Because that's only then gives you access to be part of the IDO. So the IDO, we said, was the initial DEX offering. And another video, we might go through advantages of IDO. That only gives you access to be part of that thing there. You still need to buy it and things like that. But another interesting one as well was called Fractal token, because in all of this, why this one's interesting, because think about advertising on the blockchain market. Not many people are talking about that, but where this one is unique is they're trying to be ethical. It's about don't pay for the internet with your personal privacy. So they want to be ethical and be fair with how you use data. So more people that get in this ethical thing, there's more community that wants that. Even WhatsApp and all these things, there was big commotion when they said they're going to be using your data without you knowing if you don't click this button off and all that. And this is how the internet just modifies our data and tells us what ads we should want and all these kind of stuff. But this company is trying to be ahead of time and on the blockchain part and showing you, I'm planning to do good way of using our data fairly, basically. And yeah, so even it says we'll be launching the Fractal community sale on Polkastarter platform on Thursday, the 25th February 2021. So there's lots happening. There'll be more details on what you have to do to join this one as well, which I'm going to look into. Because why I'm excited about these new ones, because Bondly was my first ever one getting in at the beginning. But with that one, I got a free airdrop. I didn't even have to pay anything. Well, I paid for the NFT card, which at the time was, I think, 2 Ethereum, and that was ages ago. I paid for that. But then by holding it, you were eligible to 2 airdrops. And those 2 airdrops gave me Bondly, which now is at $57. Those when I got it, I'm sure it was like at 18, not $57, 57 cents. When I got it, it was like at 14 cents. It went down to 11 cents, and now it's at 57 cents. But it's all, and it made a new all-time high as well. Just today, it was at 62 cents today. And yes, 13% from its 13 hours ago and 13% from its all-time high. And that's Bondly with the NFT, and it's got Logan Paul and other people that are pushing it and different partnerships. Because this cross-chain is great because it makes people link to each other to help each other. So Bondly using NFTs can have a partnership with a new company that's launching, and by you having that card, it will allow you to get certain entry points at certain price points of the token, and it gives people incentives to get liquidation and help businesses. So that's why it's so interesting, because it even shows you about marketing, because even one of the competition, the Polkastarter Twitter Telegram, was about, what is our Twitter account going to be worth at this date, and what is our Telegram followers count going to be? And if you could guess right, they would give you free access to something. So it just makes it so there's games within the games of being part of the company or liquidating the company and providing money. There's games in between there. So it's great marketing when you're trying to raise a community, because why this is all great, the point of Telegram is you're raising a community to be able to use it, and more utility and more community, more word of mouth, more people get involved. So it's interesting times learning and seeing how these new starting businesses get capital, how they get a community, and how they do throughout the next few years. Because don't forget, DeFi is still all early stages. Things are changing. What was the other thing we saw? Yeah. It is definitely interesting times. Interesting. So remember though, it's not, someone wanted me to mention ISA accounts. So they thought with Trading 212, where I do my stock market stuff, they thought trading 212 was about trading, but you can have an ISA account. And the point of an ISA account is you get 20,000 tax-free each year. And that includes your profits. Let's see. So in 2020 to 2021 tax year, the maximum you can save in ISA is 20,000. There are 4 types: cash ISAs and stocks and shares ISA. So this is the one. Trading 212 allows you to have a stocks and shares ISA. So you can put 20,000 in there, and whatever profit you make on that as well is tax-free. So that's the great thing with Trading 212, and you can get my link down in the description, because by you joining that, that's how you can invest in things like Apple, in Mara, because they're linked to Bitcoin. Without having Bitcoin, you can invest in Rolls Royce. Well, I don't have Rolls Royce. The best ones in my portfolio, I think, is Mara, some Genomatics one, because ARK, Cathie Wood from ARK, Tesla was one of her biggest gains, did 25x for her in 5 years. But the next one she's talking about, she's in things like SAVA, or no, I think she's in Cell B, but SAVA is, no, BNGO is like what she's in, which is genetics and things like that, and being able to cure diseases using genetics and all these kind of stuff. So she reckons these companies will be the next crazy gains for her in the next 5 years. So BNGO is one that's doing very nice for me. Then there's one called SAVA, which again is linked to Cathie Wood's and portfolio, because that one just cured or doing really good things in Alzheimer's for people. So again, they're trying to cure Alzheimer's and things like that, and that's another profitable one. You got things like ZOM, ZOM. These are called ticker signs. So when you search, they're doing pets. So cancer and pets, the software they're going to be launching in like April, that it's going to make things a lot quicker for people. So this is where you can buy all these stocks and things on Trading 212. So that's why it is good to get your own stocks ISA account. Some people do it directly with a bank, and then from the bank will link them to financial advisor, so you can get HSB stock and shares account, but then the financial advisor will be the one managing your portfolio for you, and that comes at a fee. Whereas with Trading 212, you can make your own portfolio and buy and sell when you want, and have different strategies, which I talk about in my book called How to Play the Same Game the Rich Do. Well, it's called You Are Rich, actually, and it's about that, playing the same game the rich do, thinking about capitalism, thinking about how you can better yourself as working capital and human capital. But many people realize it's easy to make money, but it's hard to keep money. So this is why we're talking about with Bitcoin, making sure we think about our profit strategy. Although there's some people that just hold, because don't forget, in this cycle, when it halves and does whatever it does, in the next one, you're looking at one Bitcoin becoming like millions or 1 million, because now we're looking at hundreds of thousands. The previous one, we're looking at thousands. So from 1,000, 20,000. Now we're looking at hundreds of thousands, from 20,000 to 100,000 or 200,000. Or if it does another 20x, what's that, 400,000 and things like that. So we're looking at hundreds of thousands, which means the next one, you're looking at millions. Don't forget that, because whatever it gets to is all-time high, and it drops. Next one is when it gets to that. So it's crazy times in the world of Bitcoin. But make sure you check my website for free information, how to take care of your emotions, anxiety, other things that will help you not to procrastinate, how to have self-control, because you need these things when you're investing, and even to do your exit strategy and your profit strategy, but most of all to invest in yourself. So that's why I've got my book, Divine Wholeness. See, Divine Wholeness, we've got chapters like Wealth is Stored Up For You, Live, we've got Your Silence Speaks, and then we've got one, Soliloquy. So as we imagine ourselves in the life of King David. Remember, King David was somebody from young. Imagine being told you're going to be a king and have to do all these things, but then the person you're working for, once was figuring you up, now they want to kill you and all these things, and now you're running away from your family, all these things. So there's a lot to learn from that story, and we imagine his life in soliloquy in a poetic form. So make sure you check these things out on Amazon, and Kindle, and Audible version will be available soon. But till then, get your CMOS, your IMOS, stay healthy, and have a great day. We'll see you on Thursday and Fridays, and Mondays we are here. Press the like, press subscribe, and press the bell.